admin to post a message when they can. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupiणी Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhe Bhavatu Me Sada Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Namaste. Yes, so we are now embarking on an interesting journey where we are going to look at the Gita in our everyday life perspectives or questions which are connected to our life. Everybody now knows what the Bhagavad Gita is. I think most of us have also read the Gita. Can someone just probably give some inputs on how the Gita is relevant to everyday life? Because we establish the relevance and then move in. A lot of people say Gita should be worshipped. Yes, but more important than worshipping the Gita is also to live it. So, is the Gita relevant in everyday life? Anybody? Some inputs, please. Anything.
Absolutely, because yes, it is extremely relevant in everyday life. Because whatever happened there, it's like relatives. What is right, what is wrong? It's we have to live it because it's not something that happened out there. It happens in us on a daily
Hmm.
basis.
Oh, all right. So Shashi ji is saying that what is there in the Gita is actually not just some historical event that took place. It is actually something which is live. Maybe it is also historical, but it is also something which is very practical. Anybody agrees to what Shashi ji shared just now, that it happens in everyday life? Yes.
Yes,
Rachna ji?
every day we face so many situations where we don't know what we are thinking is right or what is wrong. And the relevance of the Gita then becomes important and more so in today's day and age, like every day something or the other happens. And when when we react, we should know um, what we are reacting. Is it
Okay.
correct? Is it wrong? Is it with the dharma or is it not with the dharma? And how we
Okay.
should function, what we should act.
All right. Yes, Rachna ji. You've mentioned the word dharma. So something but about more about that. It's actually a very beautiful word, dharma, but it has so many meanings.
Like in the battlefield, when Arjun goes down on his knee and he says that I surrender to you, I don't know what to do because in this situation, I don't want to kill my uh, uncles and all my everybody else because they are after after they are finished, and even if I have got that piece of land, what am I going to do and how am I going to live? Then
Okay.
Krishna tells him that you have to now think as a Kshatriya. Your dharma is a Kshatriya dharma. Like when our life, in when as the life moves, we get many roles. Like as a
Okay.
mother, there will be a different dharma.
Matru
As
dharma.
a child, it will be different. As a teacher, it will be different. So, what is the thing we have to keep flitting, and in between the roles, we have to keep doing things. So there will be a lot of confusions. That is why I feel like the Gita was given in the battlefield.
Okay.
So between right and wrong, where are we standing? We need to know.
Right. Yes, Rachna ji. So this is very interesting. Dharma. What is our dharma? This is a big question because many times we don't understand. Dharma is so dynamic. At any given time, I will have so many dharmas, and then there is a war. A war taking place at all times, a clash of dharmas. Sometimes Maitri Dharma, this is what my friend wants. So I have to do this. Should I do it because my friend wants? Or sometimes my father wants something, my mother wants something, my brother wants something, my society wants something, my workplace wants something, and it suddenly feels like, hey, this is too much. I can't juggle all of this at one time. It becomes too much to juggle so many roles and responsibilities. Then what do we do? What is our dharma? The time Krishna has also in the Gita introduced something called Swadharma. And it's so beautiful when you follow your Swadharma, you don't have to do a juggling. The dharmas also fall in place, but what is the Swadharma? That is important. If you ask somebody who is addicted to sweets, he'll say Swadharma is eating sweets. But that is not really Swadharma. So, what is our dharma is a big question. This is a what we call $1 million question. What is our dharma? The Upanishads also talked about it. Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye is what the prayer made by the Vedantic rishis. They say the truth is also hidden by a golden lid. I cannot see what is the truth. Show me the way. So that is the truth. Probably yes. I think another good point raised by Rachnaji is that we understand through the Gita what is our dharma. What is my dharma at this moment? My dharma of this moment may be remaining silent, but that will not be my dharma next moment. Next moment would be Akraman. If you look at even how our great, we can say Parashurama also, he talked about Shatra Dharma also. He was also a Brahmin, he was also a Kshatriya, he was also different dharmas at one time. Krishna talks about various varnas of different people at different times, and if you see inside of you, you are having all of it. So it's very interesting when you bring it in perspective of everyday life. So that was the second point raised by Rachna ji that yes, Gita is relevant for this aspect as well. Any other aspects anybody can think of? Because we're looking at exactly our everyday life right now. We're not going to study all 700 shlokas. Many of us have already studied that. Right now, we are going to look at topics. We're going to look at topics and slowly move through all 18 chapters of the Gita in light of these topics. Like today, we have a topic selected that is dealing with betrayal. We will look at that topic and then we'll look at what the Gita talks about it. So, any other points you feel you can add on how the Gita is relevant? Anybody?
No, I just felt that,
Politics.
okay, please.
Okay, yes, Rashid I just will go to Om Prakash ji and then come back to you. Yes, Om Prakash ji, yes, sir.
No, I just felt, I mean, I may be wrong also, but what I felt that just now the incidents which happened in Pahalgam,
Yeah,
the professor was asked to, uh, read the Kalma. So he was
okay,
doing the Kalma. So he read that and he got, unscratched. So what is that point, it was important that he should come out of that situation. So maybe by doing that, he has betrayed the Hindutva, but at the same time, it was at that point of time, it was required that to come out of that situation. And by being there, not sacrificing his life, probably that was the right decision, or maybe, I mean, this is what I felt.
okay, okay. That is interesting. Om Prakash ji has shared something which is very now, we can say India's raw nerve has been touched, and we are going to probably hear what is the way forward, as Krishna had said, Yuddhasva Bharata. Maybe Shatra Dharma is going to rise right now. But again, so Om Prakash ji says it probably gives us a what we call a Viveka Buddhi, maybe. Sir, what is the right action and what is wrong action? What needs to be done at that particular moment? That is something probably we can understand better through the Gita. Shashi ji said politics. Politics also probably Gita can help. Because a politician will learn to become a better politician. Instead of we have three gunas, rajas, tamas, sattva. Instead of using tamasic policies of giving freebies and ultimately destroying the economy and not having any voters left. Instead of that, if somebody does a sattvic politics and does good work, then that person might be able to. And how to deal with sometimes people say politics is not clean. Krishna in the Gita said, Dyutam chalayatam asmi. I am the cunning in the gambler's deception. So you can read what are the opponents. You don't have to be gullible. The follower of Krishna is somebody who is aware, who is conscious. So yes, that is another point that we looked at. I think if anybody wants to, you can also, since it's a discussion of discussion, you can also have counter views as well. This will be our Gita talks. Talks will happen when people talk to each other. Otherwise it will be monologues only. So you are most welcome to put your points at any time. The aim of this is not just to go on talking about something, but it's about we coming together. In coming together, also don't be worried. I'm not going to make you enroll into some program. No, nothing, no strings attached. Coming together in the sense in consciousness, when we connect, we are all connected by that one consciousness, one sutra, which we may call it Krishna, we may call it divine, any name that we want. We have that same consciousness inside all of us. But when we access that, we will actually be able to do something good in every kshetra, wherever we are. Krishna has told in that one chapter also that he is the one Kshetrajna. Sarva Kshetreyeshu Bharata. In every field there is one master, like a master key that opens every locks. So that is what our aim is. So without any, I think if nobody wants to add anything, we will go to today's topic. Does anybody want to add, ask, or share something about the Gita? We did not look too much into the Gita. It is basically, in short, if you say there are 700 shlokas which have been divided over 18 chapters. 18 chapters move in very interesting manner, right from first, second, third, and there's a dialogue. Krishna does not say, I am God, you better listen to me or I'll cut your head. No. He allows Arjuna to ask questions. Allows Arjuna to sometimes ask really, I mean, what we will call obnoxious questions or arrogant questions. No, he is not being arrogant. He's a seeker. So, with doubts, which are sometimes what we call devil's advocate kind of questions coming up, but they are all welcomed by Krishna because the spirit is of learning. That is the essence of our Sanatan Dharma also, where we understand, we introspect, and then we realize, and more importantly, we practice and then realize. Rachna ji
And
wants to add something. Yes,
how to
somebody
get
want.
over, I am Hema.
Yes,
I
ji.
just
Hema
want
ji.
to say how to get over fear in
How
life.
to get over fear? Okay,
How
you
Bhagavad
do,
Gita helps us.
the Bhagavad Gita helps us how to get over fear.
Yeah,
Yes, that is
very
also
true. It can
true.
be so many factors, day-to-day life or
Yeah.
anywhere. That is
Yes.
how it gives us the courage to go and face.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
That,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Fears can be so many. Fear sometimes. So I know of a person who was having fear of having fear. It was very funny. We say we have fear of unknown, we have fear of known. Some people are so afraid of lizards that you hear the word lizard, they get so scared. There may not be a lizard in the room, but they will imagine a lizard is there and then they are going to run away and it is something. We all carry unknown fears. Sometimes we carry fears from our past. Sometimes we even carry from past births. We don't even realize it. The Bhagavad Gita helps in diluting all of these unnecessary sanskaras which are impinged on our soul or on our consciousness, which is preventing us from the true realization. Among the gunas, when Krishna says, he starts talking about the divine qualities. He begins with abhayam, abhayam sattva sanshuddhi, fearlessness. What do you have when you is, it is said, when you have a hand on your back, what are you afraid of? They say, Jako rakhe saiya mar sake na koe. And the divine is, if God is there for you, who can be against you? That realization is something which also can be got. So Gita has n number of, I think we will run out of time. We will run out of time about what is the stuti or what is the greatness of the Gita. We will not, I think life will be over. The entire Kaumara, Yauvana, Jara is the stages of life. Childhood, youth, old age. They will be complete, but we will not run out of topics. You look around in any field, management also. Nowadays, you get at hefty sums, you will get management lessons from the Gita, which are freely available in the Gita as well. You can get certified lessons on improving management principles as well. Same in the medical field also. You will be surprised to see a lot of research going on among the medical fraternity on the Bhagavad Gita. Our NGO also has done a wonderful research on the effect of Gita on children, and they have we have also with us Rajiv ji from Gita Dham. Rajiv ji, namaste sir, good to see you. If you would like to just add a few words, because Gita Dham, the place only is dedicated to the Gita, and we are lucky that a trustee from Gita Dham has also joined us. Please unmute, sir, if you can, and share a few words, then we enter into the subject today.
Well, actually, first and foremost, I would like to thank Mr. Maniar, my ex-boss. I hope he's here on the call for getting us in touch. And it was a wonderful experience participating in the course that was conducted on the Bhagavad Gita. And that actually triggered a chain of events, like going to Pondicherry, meeting Damleji, and then discussing and finding out that both institutions had the same goals, and then teaming up in order to come up with this project of research on the Bhagavad Gita and seeing the influence it has on adolescents' minds. And it was a wonderful project. We were very happy to be working with each other, and that's how this association has grown. I mean, we are always there with Midam, and proud to be associated with Midam. So that is
Yes.
what I would like to say. Thank you
Thank you,
very
sir.
much.
Sir, I meant more about little bit about Gita Dham and the Swamiji, Swami Harihar Maharaj Ji also, because we are.
So
It is
actually,
anything
it is
good to know if everybody knows about it as well.
it's very difficult for me to summarize in short something about my own spiritual master. But he is Swami Hariyarji Maharaj uh, was a freedom fighter who fought along with the likes of Subhash Chandra Bose at one point in time. He had been in prison a lot and he was lucky in order. Also, he's mentioned somewhere that he was tutored into the Bhagavad Gita by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, with whom he spent time in the prison. Like in his talks, he was saying that Bal Gangadhar Tilak was so passionate about the Bhagavad Gita that even while he slept in the prison, he would keep a copy on his chest. I mean, that was the kind of association these people had with the Bhagavad Gita. And when India got independence, that was the time when Swami Hariyarji decided that he had a different goal, and that was actually to spread the message of the Bhagavad Gita all across the world. So that was what, so Gita Dham was formed, Gita ashrams were formed in various places. And people like me had the good fortune of actually being associated with this great mission of his. And we are contributing in every way in order to realize this dream of spreading the word of the Gita. So that is
Yes,
what
sir.
I can say in
Thank
brief
you.
about this.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Then this is something. It is our all. It is a treasure. Gita belongs to all of us, and it is a great treasure that has been there for so many thousands of years. Now we are going to study in this workshop and see if it is relevant today also. Everybody has said it is yes, but let us see now. We'll look at a topic. The first one is dealing with betrayal. That is our topic for today. Can someone just tell me what is this betrayal? Do we face betrayal in our life? If yes, what is this betrayal? Anybody? When we identify what it is, then we'll probably be able to deal with it. Yes, anybody? Is there anyone who has? Yes,
There
please.
are all there are all kinds of betrayal on a daily basis.
On a daily
You
basis,
go,
okay.
yeah, daily basis. It could be in the house with your loved ones. It could be in the shops. It could be the banks. It could be
Okay,
anywhere and everywhere. It's a daily thing.
okay. Yes, so it's, I think Shashi just directly hit the nail. It is something which everybody is facing. Okay. I don't think we can find anybody who said, I've never been betrayed. So, yes. Rachna ji wants to add something?
Yeah, I think the biggest betrayal we do is what we think we do not speak, and we betray ourselves and
Okay.
who we
Oh,
really are.
okay. So, we are betraying ourselves also if you look at it in a way. So, that is a problem sometimes, isn't it? Mind thinks one thing, heart thinks another. Tongue betrays both the mind and the heart, speaks something else which is not in the mind nor in the heart. And then the great chaos and confusion and sometimes new chain of events are started. Okay, that is true. Betrayal can come in so many ways, inside, outside, sometimes to ourselves. But if you look at our psyche or generally, if you just see, try to understand, um, but does betrayal come when you expect it, or does it come when you least expect it?
It comes, it's always there. It's up to one to realize that one is betrayed. That's what I
Okay.
think.
But until you realize it, you are not sure, no, you are betrayed until you that realization comes,
It is
isn't
only
it?
Yeah,
when we realize that we are betrayed. So that
Yes,
is the
Ji?
time it is unexpected for us.
Okay, that is something which is no betrayal is something like unexpected, like Caesar,
But
you too
really,
brute.
somebody whom you think you have a good kind of a relation or rapport, whatever,
Ha ha.
when they do it, that is there, it's least expected.
Yes, it's mostly a betrayal of trust, isn't it? From
Yes,
somebody you
yes.
expect, somebody you are having some kind of trust, and you're almost ready for everything except that only. And that is what happens, and that is what we generally deem as betrayal.
That is the time we call it betrayal.
Ji,
If
ji.
we know somebody does not, I mean, we know that person is iffy, I mean, this one's not very
Hmm.
straightforward. We, even if they cheat us or betray us, we expect it, we accept it.
Okay.
But somebody
Yes.
whom we trust and then
Ha.
they give up on you, that is
This means you are confident, no? This person will not make a mistake. This
yes.
person will not do this. You are confident, and correctly from there it comes, isn't it? But is it confidence based on Shraddha, or is it some confidence actually which is actually on overconfidence, where you sometimes take for granted or you are too sure or too confident that a betrayal doesn't come? Means my question is, what do you think? Do you think it can be sometimes that we are a little overconfident? We are a little overconfident, and so we are, means we think we know everything, we have everything in control, we are ready for all types of betrayals. We feel that way, some kind of overconfidence, and that is where we experience it. Rachna ji is sharing something.
If the betrayal has happened, that means you were overconfident.
You were overconfident. Yes,
If
yes.
the
Actually,
betrayal,
that
It
is the.
more to do with
that
being
means you
blind.
have overlooked something in the relationship.
All right. Yes. Who was saying over? Yes, somebody was saying about overlooked, and then we'll come to Umaji. Yeah. Oh, it was Umaji. Please go on. Yes, ji.
Yeah, no, I was saying it is most of the times we are blind about certain people.
Hmm.
More than confidence, I think we just blind about. I mean, many a times you can see that this is going to happen, but we don't want to accept it because we are just maybe blindly in love with a person or something like that.
Okay. So yeah, yeah. So probably an attachment or some kind of some. We are trying to assure ourselves this is not going to happen, though you know all the signs and all the indicators are showing you otherwise. You
No,
know
because
that
we
this,
trust
yeah,
them. We trust them. And
we
we would
trust
never
them.
do that. So we like to see our own reflection.
So then is trusting the problem, Himaji?
Huh.
Is trusting a problem?
No, it takes time for you to trust again. Initially, yes,
Okay.
trusting
Ha,
becomes a problem. Maybe so the
ha.
mistake is in us also that we trust
Okay.
too blindly.
Means
but
it is like I can, if I take a scorpion and I trust that scorpion, it is not going to sting, and I give it a kiss. Will that be called Shraddha or Andhashraddha?
No,
only if
because
it's your pet.
the other person does not show the scorpion nature. That's why we trust them.
Okay, so we
If
don't
it is,
realize
they
in
show,
his.
we will never go near them. No.
Okay, if you know it, yeah.
Yeah.
But so, okay, okay. So one of the reasons, some, okay, Shashiji wants to say something. Yes, Shashiji. Yes,
I
please.
just wanted to say that, there are times when you have to trust. You don't have to think twice, like getting on a plane and hoping the pilot hasn't had a good drink. He hasn't had a good previous night. Or you
Ha,
get
ha.
in a taxi, you hope, you don't know whether that person is a good driver or not. There are some places where you have to just trust,
But
fingers crossed, and hope for the best.
blindly trusting. If you see that the taxi driver is not going in a straight line, he's going
Well,
zigzag,
obviously, yeah.
you will want
But
to come out of it immediately, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
That
But
will
there are
not be.
some places there are some places where you have to start trusting and learn as you
Can we
go
use the
on, whether
word becoming conscious? If you are conscious, you can, because if you understand that, I remember a person who was very senior, that person just walked out of the car because the driver was giving very weird vibes. And that person got late, but he said, I would not go with that driver. And turned out to be a good thing because that driver was under the influence. So here it was not complete trust also, but maybe consciously we need to recognize, and we cannot have what we call like blind faith. Just
yeah,
blind faith is sometimes, Shraddha is not blind. Shraddha is a beautiful Sanskrit word which has so many words. My love for my mother, or I have Shraddha in my mother. She has raised me and I have earned it. I have understood it completely. That is not overconfidence also. It is just an experience, a lived experience which comes from a love and consciousness that I have received. If some other lady comes and tells me, ki, beta, this is the DNA proof that I am your real mother, I'll say, Namaskar. My Shraddha is still here because she has raised me. Even if you are biologically my mom, she is my mom who has raised me. So this aspect is there. Arvindji wants to add something, sir? Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yeah, yes. Sometimes the betrayal can emerge from what we can say misplaced trust.
Misplaced trust. Oh, yeah, yeah. Misplaced trust.
Inadvertently, it may
Okay.
be inadvertent thing, but it may come from the misplaced trust.
Right, right. Yes, sir. Arvindji has talked one more important point about trust, misplaced trust. This person will not do. So we must understand where to place our trust. It is so important. We cannot trust our neighboring country to not send terrorists to India. We cannot put a misplaced trust. If we have a past history, we understand what is happening. We cannot wishfully think and drive that away. So, yes, so something about overconfidence is there, which sometimes makes us lead to makes us experience betrayals. Sometimes it is misplaced trust. In the first adhyaya, there's a lot about betrayal. If you see, Arjuna is feeling a sense of betrayal in the very first adhyaya of the Gita. Is it because of what is it because of? Is it because of misplaced trust? Is it because of overconfidence? Anybody? We will look at few shlokas of the Gita. Yes, Rachna wants to say something. Yes, please.
Is it because of the attachment and the respect he has? He
Okay,
has
attachment. Mhm.
attachment to his family, that is even his Dhritarashtra's family, the Kurus,
Acha.
and he
So,
has respect for Bhishma and Dron because they are his teachers, and so he
but
doesn't
respect
want.
is a good thing, isn't it? Respect need not always mean betrayal. But attachment can probably be one important reason for betrayal sometimes. Yes, I think, yes, Rachna do you agree with this?
Yes, absolutely, I
Okay,
do.
all right. So let us now enter into the Gita. We look at shlokas 21, 22, and 23 of the first adhyaya of the Gita. If you see, the first adhyaya begins with Dhritarashtra asking Sanjay to tell what is happening, like we get live TV broadcast from news, what's happening. So Sanjay has been asked by Dhritarashtra, and using his Divya Drishti, he begins narrating who is here, which person is standing in which place, live report is going on. Now here, this is the interesting part. I think everybody knows, isn't it? Who was the Sarathi of Arjuna?
Lord Krishna.
Shri Krishna himself. Yogeshwara, Krishna, the great emperor, has become the charioteer. He has become the driver for Arjuna. He is taking his chariot ahead. It's very interesting how, Arjuna should have just been so free because Krishna is his driver. But no, what would you do if you had Krishna as your Sarathi? If you realize Krishna is your Sarathi, you don't need to do anything actually. He is our Sarathi. He is the one who is driving our life, but we don't realize it, no? So we feel, I am taking my life ahead. I am doing this. I am doing that. So something like that. Arjuna is a little bit in a different state. If you look at these shlokas, first one, in the 21st one, in the 22nd and the 23rd of the first adhyaya, Rish, Rishikesham tada vakyam idamaha mahipate Arjuna uvacha senayoru bhayor madhye ratham sthapaya nechyuta. O king, then to the divine charioteer Krishna, the following words were spoken by Arjuna. Between the two armies, I request you to take our chariot into the battlefield center for my sake. So, what is the now captain is who? Krishna or Arjuna here? It is Arjuna. He is commanding Krishna. He is telling Krishna, take this chariot for me, oh Krishna, take this chariot. Forgetting the great emperor is there. He is not just a Sarathi, he is the one. Ask him, where should I go? Because when you go to an unknown city, do you tell your tour guide, take me this particular place, don't take this shortcut, don't take right, don't take left? What's going to happen? You will be in trouble. So you have to allow the leader to lead. But here, because of a lot of overconfidence, because he already knows who his opponents are, he's confident of his own strength, or maybe a little bit overconfident. He says, Krishna, take my chariot. Why does he do that? He's justifying it. This is what happens in overconfidence. We have 100,000 reasons. No. I am doing this because I know this is going to happen. I'm already ready. And when you see things happening, that also you are trying to justify. So here, what does he say? यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामान् अवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यं तस्मिन् रण Unless this warfield, I closely observe and see those who desire to wage the battle against me. I cannot assess the warrior's strength and might and decide the opponents who are worthy to fight. He says, I want to see. Let me see all my opponents. Until I see them, I cannot decide who my opponents are. In the next shloka, we look at that and then why I just wanted to look at these three is because they are displaying a lot of confidence, sort of overconfidence in Arjuna. Third one, Yotsamana navekshe ya etetra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe yuddhe praya chikirshavah. All those who have thus gathered here, I wish to see all the warriors from near, the alliance of well-wishers that has combined to support the cause of Duryodhana's false mind. If you look at it, Arjuna is confident. He's not saying breaking news who is coming as his opponent. He already knows. He knows who are the people, who are the heroes, what are their strengths. He's already charted out plans how to counter. So here, there is no chance of unexpected betrayal for him because he knows it. He knows what's going to happen there. And yet, there is a fall. There is a fall in the next set of shlokas. In this adhyaya, you see a extremely confident Arjuna who is so powerful. He's got a name called Gudakesha. Or he sees so many Parantapa. Parantapa means harasser of enemies. He has a proven track record of performing so well that not one or two entire armies would flee. Oh, Arjuna is coming, flee, leave. This battle is not worth fighting. This is the person. Means we're not saying overconfidence comes without any base. Sometimes you have done good job, but you become overconfident. You are going to be in very susceptible position. Like in Arjuna's case, in his overconfidence, he forgot who is he, who is his leader, what is to be done, because he got too full of himself. This is the chance. Most of the time, if we start becoming too full of ourselves, we have to at least remind ourselves, ki, see what happened to Arjuna. He fell. Let us not forget that. Look at the entire story, all the great ones. What happened to Ravana? Why did he fall? It was this only, isn't it? Everywhere, every story, it is the same thing. When we become too full of ourselves, when we allow our ahankar to get so bloated, that is where we are likely to have the greatest fall. So if we want to deal with betrayal, let us first start dealing with our ahankar. Let us not allow it to go shoot off up to the highest level. But the next one question we have to see is betrayal comes from whom? Who betray us? I think Himaji also mentioned about it. We'll just look at that. From whom does it come? People, which people betray us?
Our
Who are
own,
near and dear.
Who are near and dear, our own people. Betrayal comes not from somebody I don't know. I was going on the street, that person betrayed. No, I don't know him. He cannot betray. So betrayal can come only from people whom you consider your own. Because this, look at Caesar and Brutus. What happened? What did Brutus do? Brutus did what Brutus wanted to do. Caesar only didn't know that Brutus could do such a thing, no? So he was not ready for it, and betrayal comes from your own people only. That is one more important point. Even if you know it, sometimes you feel like this person is going to betray me. But when that betrayal happens live, are you able to deal with it immediately? No, isn't it? You know this is going to happen. All the signs I saw, this was going to happen. No, throughout life, this person has been behaving this way to me. So, this important point when I feel I'm going to need support from this person, all the signs have shown that this person is not going to support. Yet, we go to that same person seeking support, and that is where we fall. And there again, this betrayal happens. So it happens from our known people. And sometimes, even if you know these are points of betrayal, when it actually happens, it becomes unbearable. It becomes too much to bear. And that is exactly what happened to our dear Arjuna. If you look at shlokas, the 28th to 31st shloka, you just saw how confident Arjuna was just a few moments before. He said, I want to see who are these opponents. Let me see this false mind of these people. Let me see how they behave. How can they behave that way? I can deal with them, is what he was thinking. And when it actually happened, real time, all his energies have gone. What happens? And you see, it's very interesting. Arjuna orders Krishna, take my chariot to the center. Let me see. You see, there's a lot of force and confidence. Krishna has not started the Gita yet. He says, Acha beta, okay. He doesn't even say okay. He just takes the chariot to the center and he says, see, these are your opponents. That's all. One word only. See, these are your opponents. That's all. And suddenly, Arjuna knew, isn't it, who his opponents were all along. He had prepared. He was ready for it. But when he saw them, this is a fall. That actual moment, it becomes too much. And that is exactly what happened here. Let's look at the 28th shloka. Kripaya paraya vishtu vishidan idam abravit Arjuna uvacha drishtvevam svajanam Krishna yutsam samupasthitam. Despondent and overcome by compassion, whether it's a true compassion or a misplaced compassion, that's a different question altogether. But overcome right now. A distraught Arjuna spoke in this fashion. Oh Krishna, my own kin stand here in my sight, all together and filled with a desire to fight. So he's crying to Krishna, the same confident hero is now saying, hey, my own people are standing, look at them, look at their faces, they're ready to attack me. They're ready to fight against me, my own people. I cannot tolerate it, is what he says. He goes on further. सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपथुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते. Says, watching them, my heart gives a cold sigh, and my throat feels also parched and dry. Down my spine now runs a shiver that makes my whole body shudder. What has happened suddenly? He's contracted a viral infection in 1 second. It's not like that, isn't it? Students, when students, we would write leave letters. As I'm suffering from fever, I cannot attend this particular exam or I cannot attend for this test, all of that. Well, what has happened to our Arjuna? He was ready for everything. And suddenly when he saw, no, what we call psychosomatic reaction is taking place. Psychologically, also, he's ready, he knew. But when he saw them, they are wanting to hurt me. How can my own people want to hurt me? I mean, I was ready to face and defend all of them, but when I saw actually that they are wanting to hurt me, that was too much, is what Arjuna is saying. He says, see, my heart only is now, I can feel it heavy. I can feel a kind of different palpitation inside. And look at my throat. It looks like I've lost my ability to speak only. And my spine, I can feel a shiver running down. My whole body is shaking. This is somebody who has the accuracy to fire arrow, means with such accuracy and control of mind and body, he can fire arrows from such a far distance. But the same person is now shaking completely. Rachnaji wants to add something, is it, Rachnaji?
And not just that, they
Yeah.
have been experiencing these betrayals all along.
Hmm.
They are used to it. Right from the childhood, they have been getting
Oh,
this.
yes.
And
Yes.
still, the hand is shivering that how can I do this?
Yes, 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 yes. So somewhere we have normalized it or something. Betrayal has been accepted and understood it's going to happen. But when it happens again at this most, because every time we feel it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But when it does happen, it becomes too overwhelming. This is Arjuna's case. And this is last shlok. We stop here for this particular point about betrayal from own people. What does it do ultimately when you become so attached and you are overwhelmed with your emotions? Well, what is a warrior without a weapon? Anybody?
We stay away from them
Okay, Sarojini says we stay away
and
from them.
forgive them because they have got their own life.
Okay, okay. All right. Yes, Dr. Sarojini ji. No, but my question was about what is a Dr. Sarojini ji, what do you think is a warrior without a weapon?
War will be the last resort, no?
No, if a warrior is standing in the battlefield and he says, "Oh, I forgot to bring my sword,"
No,
is
no.
that is he of any use?
No.
No, isn't it? So in this betrayal, act of betrayal, when emotions also start coming to play, we lose our sense of well-being. Not only do we lose our sense of well-being, we lose our ability to defend ourselves against the betrayal also. This is what has happened to Arjuna. He had a bow and arrow with him. It was not just an ordinary one, it was a divine bow called Gandiva. But that Gandiva Dhanusha has now, he's not having the strength to hold it also. Against my own people? No. And you see that shiver. He says, Gandivam sransate hasta tvak chaiva परिदह्यते न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः. He says, my head is also spinning. No, he says, from my hand slips the Gandiva bow, and my skin seems on fire now. My mind and head are spinning round. Impossible it is for me to even stand ground. Forget attack, forget defend. You're not able to stand when your emotions overwhelm you in the face of a betrayal. That is the great, what we can say, unfortunate story that happens every time we get this experience. So, what do we say is the root cause for all of this? Betrayals, as Shashiji said, happen every day, no? You go to the shop, you buy a packet, they say it's very good packet, it's very nice. See the expiry date also. But that was supposed to be frozen and kept in the fridge for a long time. This person did not do it. So when do you know it? You take it home, you open it, and then you see, oh, this shop I've been going for so many years. This person has betrayed me. So betrayals are happening every time, every day. But what is the reason for the pain that we feel in the betrayal?
Attachment.
Okay, Shashi ji says attachments. Anybody agrees with that?
Yeah.
Expectation.
Yeah.
True,
Yes.
attachment is one thing. See, when a shopkeeper betrays you, you kind of, after few minutes of initial anger, you get it over because you say, he's there only to make money and he's cheating you. Or
Ha.
vegetable vendor gives you instead of 1 kilo only 800 grams, you
Hmm.
understand that. But when it comes to somebody whom you are attached, you are close,
Yeah.
and when they betray you, it is very,
Hmm.
very difficult to accept it.
Yes, yes, yes. So this is a big miss. First thing we must understand that attachments are the cause of pain in betrayal because betrayals lead to pain. That is definitely true. Betrayals come from your own people only. I cannot say this. My enemy betrayed me. If my enemy betrays me, we will end up doing something good by mistake. But only your own near people will betray you and cause you hurt. So betrayals can happen from near ones, but attachments complicate the course of action. Arjuna's attachment prevented him from doing what his dharma was, what was right. Because once a betrayal takes place, there's nothing, no, you cannot do, no, anything. Your dearest one betrays you. What are you going to do after that? You know it, it has happened, isn't it? Can you can you close your eyes? What we like a ostrich go into the soil and stop, get protect, you won't get protected from the danger. There's a beautiful phrase, I think in Hindi there's a nice saying, मेरी नाकामियों की कोई और वजह ढूंढ लूं, क्या कहूं, धोखा दिया तूने? What should I say? A lover is telling to the partner, I'll find some other reason for my failure. What should I say? You betrayed me. Because what's going to happen after that? What is going to change after it? I have realized this betrayal. It is not anything else. So when the attachment comes, then you lose your weapon. You lose your weapon to defend yourself against betrayal also. You lose your weapon to attack if the betrayal is a very attack. Sometimes you have to attack also, isn't it? Or do we have to only defend?
Attack as well. Can't
Attack
defend
as
all
well.
the time.
Deterrent action is required. When terrorists come and create a mayhem, are we going to say, oh, this was unfortunate, let us find what was the flaw, why did the terrorists just come inside, maybe I will suspend a few security personnel for it? No. If the terrorists has entered, the nation has to ensure that deterrent action is required. So again, such an invasion may not take place. So that is something. So for that, we need our weapons. Rajesh wants to say something. Is it so? Please feel free to unmute. Anybody, please feel free to unmute anytime. We are looking at a
Okay.
talk session only. Yes, sir.
I just want to bring in a dimension to this
Yes, sir.
discussion that is there. And these are the words of Swami Hariharji Maharaj in terms of a note which he has written while he was in Mount. So it's very interesting and very relevant to what we are discussing. So what he says is, यह जीव जब से जगत में आया है, तब से एक भूल करता जा रहा है. इसलिए परम आनंद की चाहत होते हुए भी आनंद की प्राप्ति नहीं हो रही है. और वो भूल ये है कि जिसको ये जानता नहीं उसको तो मानता है, और जिसको जानता है उसको ये मानता नहीं. So he says that this is the mistake which every one of us has been making after coming to birth, and that is कि those whom we do not know, we seem to trust, and those whom we have always known, we are not willing to trust. So what he
Ah,
says is, he goes on to mention that the person who is your father or your mother, who were they before? I mean, meeting you now in this life, where were they? Do you have any idea about them? Or any of your relatives or any of your friends? You really do not know them. But there is somebody who has been with you all along. And that person is, you are not willing to trust him at all. So this is one dimension which I want to bring into this discussion.
yeah.
That misplaced trust is the
Ah,
cause of betrayal. And
yes.
misplaced trust is something that all of us are very good at. And that is why we get betrayed. I mean, that
Yes.
is what I would like to say.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So misplaced trust, and we can call the attachments together. Rajiv ji has given a beautiful quote as well. Thank you, sir, for that. It was wonderful and very relevant. So now we have understood like what we can say etiology of betrayal. Bigger question is instead of now understanding only that, before we conclude, we'll have to find out some way to deal with it. No? Because I think Shashiji is saying we deal every day. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, next Monday, again 3 days. If we just know what betrayal is, but we don't know how to cope with it or deal with it, then it's a problem. So let us not wait for next talk to how do we deal with betrayal.
If it
Anybody,
is
any way you can
if
suggest
it
how
is
to cope?
some outsider or small in nature betrayal,
Hmm.
we can
Hmm.
forgive it. And even then, as the time goes on, we forget it also.
Okay. So Kala.
Forgive
Kala
and
is the
forget.
wound. Kala is the healer for every wound.
Yeah, that's what.
But
For
some people
everything,
say
we can
Kala
take
is the cause
test,
because people keep replaying what happened, and that keeps that wound
Then we
open
have to
only.
sabak sikhana them. No.
Huh?
Then we have to teach them.
Dr. Sarojini, she's saying you have to teach them. Sometimes they don't want to learn, and you're not in a position to teach. So we need to find a coping mechanism to.
Yeah, there are other ways. Leave it to Lady Karma or leave it to God and move on.
Okay,
Some
that is
things
a
you have
beautiful
to.
one. Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yes, yes. So to move on, we'll have to surrender to the divine, as Shashiji says beautifully. Leave it to karma. Karma will have its fruits. It will have its consequence. Karya, karana, kartrutve. All of this for some, you do an action, it has some consequence. A chain of actions. You keep doing wrong and think you will escape. It's not going to happen all the time. Same
But
is
it
the case with
takes too
anybody
much
else.
time.
Dr. Sarojini says it takes too much time. Then what do we do then? We have to wait, or how do we wait in that period? Probably if we, turn to someone, turn to somebody, and
That
that is
is where these
important.
scriptures help us.
Yes,
All these
Himaji
books, all
says,
these things help us to when we go through, whether even reading Ramayana helps us because you see how Rama was about to be coronated when it got cancelled and there he got betrayed by his
before cancel culture came into existence,
no. So
is okay.
because I mean like those things you realize in life it happens for everybody.
Yes,
Eh,
yes.
we go through with that kind of understanding comes to us.
Yes, yes. Sri Rama Purushottama Narahare Narayana Keshava. He is the great one, the great Purusha who stood by his Swadharma. He followed, he went on. Though he had to experience hardships, he was able to stand. So, what are we doing? We are looking at an example and learning. So, we are turning towards a ideal, turning towards something what we can call divine, isn't it? Turning towards the divine can become a good what we can say means for catharsis also. Turning towards the divine can give us the necessary strength to deal with sometimes betrayals that break and shake ourselves.
So that we don't become very bitter and
Ah,
that
that
is
is
the
also
beauty.
important because sometimes bad experience comes
We
when the
become
person becomes like a mold and formed already now. This bad experience happened, so now I'm going to stop learning. This world is like this. जिंदगी ने जिंदगी का नाम दिए favorite song of somebody
we start
when I'm in
trusting
college.
people.
Yes,
We have to
yes, ji.
trust people, more others who come into our life. So
Yes, yes. So
for that
we
we
shouldn't be
have to
better at all. We shouldn't be bitter at all. But then where do we find, what do we find in darkness? Well, we have to, instead of getting lost in further darkness, let us seek the light of the divine. It can come in any way, any form, any source. It can come from any place. If you see, turning towards the divine is the best way for coping with betrayal. Imagine no, if your own father, your own brother, your own sister, your own friend, somebody has betrayed you, and you are like, I don't know where to turn, whom to turn to. Where will I get support now when the betrayal has come from this quarter? All my life I have cared for them, like Arjuna was caring for, isn't it? He cared for his own Guru Dronacharya, Pitamaha, Bhishma. These were all great people. And yet, these are the ones who have betrayed him, is what he suddenly realized. So that time, turning towards the divine is essential. Yes, Vashnaji.
So turning towards the divine and waiting for uh, some input from the divine so that we can take our action.
Yes, you are asking or you are saying, Rachnaji?
I'm asking. I'm asking.
Okay, okay. Yes, turning towards the divine and having good confidence and faith in the divine. Because if we are in a state of emotions, divine will tell something. Divine will give the indication, but our mind is not receptive to that indication also. So we will just, twist a direction also. For example, if you look at in the Gita only, if we just want to see, it's like Arjuna is feeling afterwards that God also has betrayed him. You turn to the divine. What if the divine betrays? Then biggest question is whom to turn to. But it is not possible for the divine. Divine will never betray. It is the mind which plays that joke. It is the mind that plays a cruel trick of illusion, which we call Maya. That makes him feel because in the second adhyaya, Krishna quietly tells Arjuna how to deal with it,
Can I
with
just
this
can I interrupt?
in the yes, Prakash ji, you are saying something, sir?
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to say one thing that when the Brutus stabs Julius Caesar, the
Huh,
Julius Caesar says, "Oh, Brutus, you stab me, then I must die." That is how he takes care of the betrayal.
huh,
Right.
huh.
He,
Yes.
he goes to that level that because I don't deserve to be alive, because you feel,
Okay.
then I must die.
So kind of what we can say, kind of absolutely he's getting detached maybe.
Yeah.
But if you see the second adhyay, Krishna actually tells the depressed Arjuna away. He just tells him, he says beautifully, he says, Klaibyam masmagamaha partha naitattvaya upapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktvo tishta parantapa. Because he's going to give up the fight. He says, I am going to give up because so fed up he is with the betrayal. He decides, enough. Let me perish. He says, let me die. Death is better than anything else because I have been betrayed. I don't think we should allow our flame to get extinguished because of somebody's betrayal, isn't it? When the flame is a flame of righteousness, when the flame is that which is correct, that which is truthful, and that is burning, how can somebody's what we can say unjust betrayal even make that flame flicker a bit also? No, it should not. And that is why this is a beautiful shloka of Krishna where he says, yield not to this importance of action, not worthy of you, is such a renunciation. This base weak heartedness has no relevance. Give this up and stand up, O warrior of eminence. He's saying, Uttishta Parantapa. Rise, 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 O warrior, stand up. If you want to give up something, don't give up the battle, give up your weak heartedness, give up those emotions. But this is easier said than done, isn't it? The very next shloka is countering God. Arjuna is countering Krishna. Krishna, like Krishna ji said, isn't it? We have to wait for the input. Here Krishna is the Sarathi sitting and giving the input to him कि बस लड़ो उठो लड़ो बाकी का discussion युद्ध युद्ध के बाद remaining discussion we have after the battle. But no, he immediately counters that also because of his same question reason why he entered into the state ahankar, the aham bhava inside of him. Immediately he questions even the divine. He asks this question. He says, Arjuna Uvacha, Katam Bhishmam Aham Sankhe Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ichubhihi Pratiyotsyami Pujarha Vari Sudana. Arjuna replies to Krishna, like, tell me how, as with weapons equipped, stand reverend Bhishma and Drona in my sight. Both these great souls I have always worshipped. Even in dreams, them I cannot fight. Look at this. God has given a direction. Look at the Nath Sampradaya. This Alak Niranjan Adesh. Adesh is taken over the head and they go ahead without a single worry. And here he's got the Adesh already. But you see, the mind is dividing. Mind is creating a big barrier to even reception from the divine because of his attachment. He says, no, you're asking me to stand against Bhishma? You're asking me to stand against Drona? No, no, they have betrayed me. That's true. That's true. That's fine. But I am much, much better. How can I do this? I will not. I cannot even dream of fighting them. I cannot take my own stance. This is what happens because of attachment. Can we allow ourselves to be overcome by attachments and forget what our stance is? If we are standing on the side of the truth, shouldn't we stand forever on that side? This is extremely important for us to realize that. So first thing is we have to surrender, and that is why we need to have an Ishta Daivat, an Aradhya, a Guru, a Margadarshak, somebody, some place, a Shraddha Sthana. One place is required, one place which is Atal, that which will not shake, no matter who shakes you. Everybody in the world can stand against you, but you have one firm stance, no, one firm point for Shraddha, which will not shake. That is important because that will give you the entire strength and also the necessary healing also for any type of betrayal. Sometimes the people get a strong inner call and they follow that inner call. The mother has said it is, I think it is Mother or Shri Aurobindo. I keep getting confused with quotes, both in one for me. Rare is the one who hears the call, rarer is the one who heeds to it. Means the call is there for everybody. Divine call is there. I know someone who was being interrogated and asked, oh, what is the divine call? The police was asking that person, this inner call, is it online or offline? It was the biggest joke. An interrogation by police asking about the online call, and the police is not understanding. She's saying Antaratma call, inner voice, inner call. Mother's call is immediately whose mother called you? How is this? Because people will not understand. But if you have that inner call is your kavach. Probably we should now look at the next part, means how do we turn to the divine? Maybe that can be the topic, though I think participants are free to decide. Today's session we stop here on dealing with betrayal. Probably first thing is we need to not be overconfident. That is important. But turning to the divine is the best and finest way to deal with that pain which comes from betrayal. If anybody has any questions to ask or share, you are welcome. After which I will request our admin to Chitraji to give a summary of today's session. Yes, yes, please. Jagdish ji is saying something. I'm unable to hear. I think the audio system is betraying him. Yes, please. Sarojini ji, yes, please.
Sir, out of way,
Hmm.
there is Hindu, Sanatan Hindu Dharma. No?
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
like that, there is no Sanatan Islam Dharma.
Sanatan is that which is eternal. Everybody feels they want to call their dharma eternal. That is why the biggest problem is. In our Sanatan Dharma also, Arjuna was telling Krishna he is the guardian. In the very first adhyaya, no? Arjuna was saying, I am the protector of Sanatan Dharma, and if I fight, Sanatan Dharma will get destroyed. And then he understood when he saw that Vishwarupa. He shook, he put his hands together. This same Arjuna who was first asking Krishna, ki, Krishna, what will happen? Now he is holding his hand saying, Sanatanastvam Purusho Mato Me. So, what is Sanatan Dharma? That will be understood, that will be realized, it will be visible, it will be pratyaksha. Like Arjuna got the idea of what Vishwarupa is, world will also see what is the Sanatan Dharma. The time will come. That time, even the skeptic will fall on the knees. When? The truth will manifest. But we don't have to worry about. Krishna also tells in the Gita, na buddhi bhedam. So don't create a divide. Let the divine work go on without creating a divide. So I will not comment on any other religion. What has to be understood can be understood very well. Yes, please. Yes, if there are no other queries, Hemaji wants to say something. Yes, Ji.
No, like Krishna later in Bhagavad Gita says, leave everything to me.
Yeah.
So that is one way, even the betrayal, we can leave it to him. Sarvam Krishna
Oh,
Arpanam.
yes, yes,
So
yes,
you
yes, yes.
you give it and then you are not touched by the betrayal. I mean, it'll take little time, but you will not become too. It will not be too
Yes.
unpleasant if you surrender even that to the Lord. Just like you
Yes,
are
yes.
supposed to surrender your success
Yeah.
and other things.
Hmm.
Then this you
That is
do.
important. Yes, yes. Hemaji has talked about it. When you leave it to the divine, when you surrender to the divine. Probably we'll have to figure out what surrender is. Maybe that would be one good point to discuss also on surrendering, because I know of somebody who was the biggest betrayer and he's saying God is watching. The person who is betraying is saying repeatedly, God is watching, God is watching. So, what is this meaning of surrender? Does it mean having lip service to the divine, or there is something else? We will look at it. I request our admin Chitraji to summarize today's session. Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. So we started with trying to understand the relevance of Gita in the present age. Though it is an historical event, it is practical even today as situations arise, and taking decisions based on dharma is something that arises repeatedly. And we get to understand what is our dharma, Viveka Buddhi for navigating situations, developing insulation and resistance against fears. What are the divine qualities? Basically, it's applicable in almost all walks of life. And the we just one second. Yeah, so then we started with the main topic that is dealing with betrayal. Betrayal can come in various forms, and it's basically the broken trust or misplaced trust in various forms and different aspects. So the roots of betrayal lies in overconfidence, being blinded by attachments, ahankar, or having some kind of blind faith. And we also understood that it mostly comes from near and dear ones. And one of the ways to stay away or is by being alert and insulated from the factors, is like being aware and developing some kind of consciousness so that deal with we are not affected too much by betrayal. And then we saw some shlokas in Bhagavad Gita that showed us that Arjuna was being overconfident when he commands Krishna to take his chariot and establish in the center of the battlefield where he wants to assess the strength of the opponents. He is blinded by his ability of knowing it all at that moment. He forgot that divine is leading him, and he has that element of ahankar. And later, we see that after looking at the opponents who were none other than his own people, he begins to lose confidence and his consciousness gets clouded. That leads to loss of ability to think, trembling, loss of words, and his attachment on his near and dear ones. He keeps re emphasizing on that and gets driven by emotion. So, from this, we can understand that betrayals lead to pain, and the cause of pain is because of the attachments. These attachments can cause harm in the course of action that we take. And now, how do we deal with this? So, we see that surrendering to the divine is what we can do to deal with betrayals. And I would like to quote what Rajiv ji mentioned, the words of Guru Harihar Maharaj ji. So, how we trust the ones whom we do not know and do not trust the divine who has been with us always. So, once we understand this, this allows us to cope, and the aspect of misplaced trust does not arise. And this doesn't allow us to go further into darkness. And we see in the chapter 2 again where Krishna says Arjuna that he has to get up and fight and perform his duty. Yet we see Arjuna countering Krishna back as he has attachments on his family. So this is something that we saw today.
Hari Om. Thank you very much, Chitraji. That was a wonderful summary. So, with this, we are ready to conclude. Okay, Shashiji has asked for a printout for each class. So I think that would be very difficult. I have only a few lines in my one page. It's not, I do not have it written yet. Maybe there's some option of converting using some AI technology. It will be easier to convert these, videos in, I mean, the text into a. I'll just see if it works out. But as of now, I don't have any printout. But we will say I can share the book, the soft copy of the entire Gita and Rhymes that our foundation has published, which we are using as reference. That our admin, I can request Chitraji to share it. So yes, with this, let us conclude with the Shanti mantra. Then session will be over. But if anybody does have something to ask or share, you are welcome after the Shanti mantra. Hari Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम तत्सत् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम पुनर्मिलामः
Hari
see
Om
you
Ji.
all
Hari
Monday
Om.
namaste ji हरि ओम हरि ओम if any queries you are
Hari.
most welcome हरि ओम
Sushrutji, may I ask?
yes ji.
Hari Om.
Certainly
Hari.
ji.
Ji, that means too much of simplicity and innocence and too many expectations from someone leads to can lead to betrayal also.
Simplicity in its own essence is not something which should be lost. Even innocence, we can say a childlike innocence must remain in our personality. Otherwise, we will stop having what is, as somebody who is simple and innocent toward can easily learn from the divine. But at the same time, we cannot be gullible. That is what we should be sure of. Means we cannot because of our attachments or wishful thinking, no, sometimes I want everything to be all right, so I close my eyes. That should not happen. That is all. But these aspects, because what happens then, we become bitter. Then
Sorry.
we start becoming bitter when we
Yeah.
lose these two elements. We lose simplicity. We start putting on a show of I'm so and so, I have this, because many times it's because of some sad experiences people try to build a wall. I think it's good if you are defending yourself, but sometimes you are defending yourself from divine also, which is not required. Divine is not attacking you. Divine is in trying to transform you, but you become the barrier for that transformation. So that's why, but we cannot be blindly trusting every single person. We'll have to become alert. And I think there's a movie quote, no, in Godfather. And it is, I think he says, my father, in this closed chambers, my father told me, keep your enemies close, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. You can keep an eye
Yeah.
on both. We will see something about friends and enemies, how to deal with them is also a later part of the Gita. That is also something in relationships also, how to have, how do we deal with, our friends, and how do we deal with foes, and can we deal friends and foes with oneness? Yes, ji. All right, ji. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hari
Thank
Om.
you so much. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Shubhratri.
Shubhratri. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ji. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.